Hello and welcome to the Pennypit in Preston Pans for a make-or-break game between Preston Lodge and Berwick. At stake this afternoon is a place in National League Division 2 next season. There are a few permutations in this game, but basically the team that wins should stay up and the one that loses will be relegated. When the teams met at Scremerston in November, Berwick won by 43 points to 26. But what will the outcome be today? Well, let's find out. Here are the highlights of the game with Stuart Cameron.
A four-figure crowd of fans from both sides were attracted to this fixture at Pennypit Park, and no wonder, with so much at stake. A couple of weeks before, it looked as if Preston Lodge would be one of the 5 teams being relegated from National 2 due to the reconstruction of the National Leagues. But they fought back with 2 vital points in their previous game at Falkirk to set up this shootout with Berwick, who found themselves in this precarious position after a mix of disappointing and unlucky results, which left them just 2 points in front of today's opponents. For Berwick, they needed a draw or a win to stay up, while Preston Lodge had to win by 7 clear points to avoid the drop. A tremendous atmosphere as the teams ran out, Berwick in their famous all-black strips, and Preston Lodge sporting their teal-coloured changed kit. First blood after 6 minutes went to Berwick, who came out of the traps the fastest, Ryan Wilson making some real headway into the PL22, and Berwick recycling the ball quickly for scrum half Cammy Rogerson to pass to captain Jack Webster. He put in a little kick which was meant for Hindhaugh, but bounced instead for Rogerson, and the move continued. Berwick swarming in at the ruck with Nathan Melrose, Stu Farnaby and Rory Hindhaugh all involved, but still work to be done to outsmart the PL defence. Ali Grieve had a dart, and this time not enough bodies back for the home team, and a slick Rogerson-Walker-Rosie combo saw the prolific Aidan Rosie ghost in under the posts to give Berwick the perfect start in this match, settle a few nerves and put a marker down. If you look at it again, quick hands from Rogerson to Jack Webster and Aidan Rosie, as he's done so many times this season, coming in on the angle and touching down for the try. Webster kicking the extras to make it 7-0. That sparked the game into life, and Preston Lodge had a long period in the second half where they won the territory and possession battles, and they caused Berwick a lot of problems. The Berwick defence was pretty sound, but the more you throw at the opposition, the chances are the gaps will come. The impressive Gus Hillhouse enjoying some time with the ball here, and then veteran Blair Robertson showing he's still got plenty to offer the club with a penetrating burst through the heart of the defence. That set up Andy Horn, who had a brilliant game for PL all afternoon. He brought his team closer to the try line, but quick ball meant a huge opportunity, and Scott Clark floated a long pass to his winger Finlay Hughes, and he twisted himself over the line for a well-deserved score, which went down very well with the big home support. The strong swirling wind all day caused havoc with kickers, and while Hughes himself tried to curl the ball in, he was unsuccessful on this occasion, and Berwick still had the lead. The PL pack were beginning to get on top, and set pieces executed as well as this is always going to give your players a lift. From that they won the penalty and kicked to touch, confident that they could capitalise on the momentum going their way. Berwick have been good most of the season in defensive mode and were comfortable defending these attacks, so PL opted to give the ball some air and attack the right flank. Try scorer Hughes fancied himself for a second try here, but again he was well tackled by 2 or 3 Berwick players. It was starting to get scrappy, but the ball fell to Kyle Scott, who miraculously found his fly half Scott Clark on the right with a deft little pass. Scott put in a grubber kick, collected it, and the 22-year-old went over to put his team in front, and it was no more than they deserved for their efforts in the opening quarter. Let's watch it again, a pass off the deck that Kyle Scott will be dining out on for years to come, and Scott Clark finishing things off in the corner and putting his side 10-7 up. The pressure kept coming at the scrum from Preston Lodge, so Berwick needed to get the ball out quickly. Ali Grieve fed Rogerson out to Webster, and then Hindhaugh with a huge kick downfield. Fullback Fraser Folgate, the youngest player on the park at 17, is certainly one to watch in the future. He had a solid game at fullback and has a big boot on him too, clearing the danger for his team. Still, PL came in waves with attack after attack, and they were eyeing up a third try. They were certainly enjoying a purple period, and after 5 straight away games in the league, it was clear they were enjoying playing in front of their home crowd, their biggest of the season, who had come out to support them. Both teams are heavily involved in their community, and with the majority of players on the park playing for the team they grew up with, this really was a game of rugby where playing for the badge and the jersey rather than a paycheck was clearly on view. A refreshing change, I think, from pro rugby where priorities are totally different. We always talk of turning points in games though, and this was surely one. Preston Lodge had an opportunity for a guaranteed 3 points in front of the posts, but they chose to gamble it away for the chance of more. They won the scrum, but this time Andy Horn was put under pressure and the ball went forward. The chance had gone, and from that moment things started to unravel for Preston Lodge. Blair Robertson put in another strong run which gained his side yards, and he could have gone all the way to the try line except for this superb Ben Nicholson tackle which stopped the big man in his tracks. Quick recycled ball went out to Jack Pollard, but his pass was intercepted by James Thompson and he set off up the Pennypit Park to score a lung-busting try out wide, with fullback Falgate settling for shepherding him out wide to make the conversion difficult. It was reminiscent of Jack Dalrymple's famous Berwick try from the Shield final back in 2019, when Berwick's fortunes changed that day as well. This was a kick in the guts for Preston Lodge, and against the run of play they found themselves behind again just before half-time. To make matters worse, Webster kicked the extras, and at the break Berwick were in front 14-10. Berwick went for the jugular in the second half. They knew they were fortunate to be ahead at the interval, and they also knew if they were going to win this and stay in National 2, they would have to up their game. Ryan Wilson got the memo for sure, and combined with his interchangeable pack to start taking the game to the opposition. Jordan Patterson got involved too as the Berwick juggernaut started to roll forward. Then a training move off the paddock saw Rory Hindhaugh take the ball on, passing to Ryan Wilson, who went over. But referee Greg Cameron was in a good position and made the call that the pass was forward and Preston Lodge were off the hook. But the Berwick tails were up and they saw an opportunity to go out and win the game. Aidan Rosey was always a danger, and this was another of his breaks which PL found hard to deal with. Both teams were committed to playing this match at pace, and that meant plenty of action for the crowd to enjoy. Mason Emery played a big part with this effort in keeping the move going, and Rogerson found Webster, who, knowing a penalty was coming, tried one of his cheeky kicks ahead. Hindhaugh juggled with it, but the ball stuck, and when he was held up, James Grieve was on hand to take the scoring pass, and Berwick extended their lead with a third try, and all of a sudden there was daylight opening up between the two teams. Paul Glynn was very unlucky not to be able to quite reach the ball from Webster's kick, but fair play to Hindhaugh, who played a massive part in this win through his attacking and defensive work, kept the ball alive, and Grieve was in the right place at the right time to touch down. Webster again successful with the kick, and all of a sudden it was 21-10. Berwick were turning the screw and forcing PL into errors, and following this piece of play they won a penalty from the referee, who had run out of patience and finally reached for his pocket to dish out a yellow card to prop James Johnston. A kick to the corner was the obvious choice for Webster, with the opposition down to 14 men, but while they won the resulting line-out, Berwick couldn't turn this phase into a fourth try. But another penalty for Berwick was too tempting to turn down, and this time round Webster opted for the posts and was on target with the penalty, and that meant Preston Lodge had to find at least 3 tries to keep their hopes alive of avoiding relegation. Preston Lodge were not laying down though. They kept going to the end and had plenty of opportunities to score more points. They got themselves into a lot of scoring positions, and Berwick did defend well as they fought to protect their 14-point lead. But at times PL were their own worst enemy, and silly mistakes, a lot of handling errors and taking wrong decisions led to their downfall. The frustration of throwing chances away led to more mistakes, and there came a point where you really did feel that no matter how hard they tried, they were not going to add to their 10-point total, which they accumulated in the first 20 minutes of the first half. There was still plenty of excitement in this game, and a yellow card for Berwick prop Patterson, and the home support were willing their side to drum up some more points to make for a grandstand ending to the game. They put Berwick under a lot of pressure with this move, which took PL up to the Berwick line, but yet again they lost the ball and Berwick lapped up the possession to clear the danger. Alan Whittingham received his marching orders towards the end of the match and spent 10 minutes in the bin, and that seemingly was the last straw for Preston Lodge. A restart from Scott Clark went directly to Hindhaugh, who loves nothing more than the chance to open up play, and he made a few yards before popping a pass to Adam Hardy, who took play up to the 22. The brilliant Ewan Thompson put in a huge shift as always for Berwick and got his side even closer. Hardy opened up the back line with Webster, Hindhaugh and Thompson all involved again, and Berwick were drawing in tired defenders while keeping the ball alive. Ali Grieve and Jordan Patterson provided the heavy artillery before Hardy involved the backs again, and in a repeat from 6 minutes into the first half when Aidan Rosie came in at the angle and sprinted into space, he did it again, powering his way to the line and running in for his brace and Berwick's fourth try. It really was vintage Rosie who always does his talking on the pitch, and it's a joy to watch at any level when you see a try scored like this. As soon as he got the ball, you knew the outcome, and the try in Webster's fourth conversion and fifth successful kick of the day wrapped up the match for Berwick. The referee found over 10 minutes of stoppage time from somewhere, but you did feel at this stage that it could have been 30 minutes for all Berwick cared. They weren't going to concede any more points, and when the whistle finally went, it was Preston Lodge who had been relegated, along with Cartha Park, Hamilton, Boroughmuir and Dumfries into Division 3. But it was joy for Berwick as they remain a National 2 club and preserve their status as one of the 30 best clubs in Scotland. There was a touch of drama after the whistle when the referee gave 2 red cards out for dissent. But final score at Pennypit Park, Preston Lodge 10, Berwick 31.
Jack, congratulations. Division 2 rugby next year.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a lot of hard work this season, but it's all come together today.
Absolutely. Now, in the first half, Preston Lodge were all over you.
Oh, we knew they'd come at us. We knew we were expecting a big raucous home crowd. Their lives are on the line as well. We knew what to expect, and they came at us hammer and tongs that first sort of 20. The crowd were on the back. Their scores were getting the biggest cheers, but we knew what to expect. We just had to weather the storm, and we did that pretty well.
So what changed in the second half for Berwick?
I think we got a lead, and we just knew that if we could get one more score, which we did, we got the try, and then it was just about playing in the right areas. It was playing very boring rugby, just sensible. We knew that even a draw would be good enough for us, so it's just about running the clock down, keeping them pinned back here, off scrums. We're just crashing up one out rugby, just sensible, playing the game. It was like a cup final for us, and that's how we played it.
Berwick came out the blocks, scored a really good try under the post, but I felt we came back into the game, and at half time I felt we were really in it. But yeah, we maybe let ourselves down with a little bit of indiscipline. But I am totally gutted, and the boys are as well. But we hope to bounce back next season. That's what we're going to have to look to now.
Division 3 rugby for you next year then?
Yeah. Obviously, with the performances recently, Boroughmuir away, picking up the 5 points and getting the 2 points at Falkirk, we were totally going into this game thinking we're real confidence, I would say. But we knew when we played Berwick up there, they posed a real threat, and we struggled to deal with it today. They were a good side.
How important is this win for Berwick?
It's massive. You see what it means to the boys there after the game, the celebrations. With the 5 teams going down this year, we knew it was going to be tough, but the most important thing was not just to get into this league. We've got to show that we're here to stay, and we've put ourselves in this position in the last game of the season by letting a few narrow defeats that we maybe should have won. So it was really important to come out here, put in a performance that shows we should be here, and make sure we're in this league next year.
The defeat almost was of your own making, because you made an awful lot of silly mistakes in the second half.
Too many knock-ons, too many rubbish penalties, probably over the 20 mark, which is just unacceptable for us. We're just gutted, but that's just what happens sometimes. It just doesn't go your way. But when we made a mistake, we followed it by another mistake, sadly, and that's not what we're all about. We're gutted about
it. We knew that they would be coming out first 10 minutes, full guns blazing. I think we absorbed that well, and likewise in the second half. And I do think just our fitness and passion, I think, and our skill levels were a little bit greater than theirs. They don't get us wrong, they ran us close, but the last 20-25 minutes, the inaccurate of their passing was a little bit checking behind, and it gave us a chance to exploit that and getting behind them. And we've scored 4 great tries, really, really good tries. Even the Rory, the James Grieve one there, where Jack's kicking blindside, Rory's jumping for it, offloading it. It was brilliant bit of rugby, brilliant bit of vision, and everything we've worked on this week has came off.
How much does this win mean to Berwick?
Oh, it's huge. Like I said to you before the game, it was bigger than Murrayfield. This is where we want to be. This is the marker that we need to set. National 2, and we've got to rise from that and kick on and learn from this big time today. and that's why it's so big for us. We didn't want to go back down to National 3. We want to go to National 1.
We've put a lot into the last month or so with Boroughmuir, Falkirk, and a lot of hard training, and the coaches have put in such an effort with us, and I don't know if we just never got over that final hurdle today, but I am totally gutted. The boys, again, are great lads. It's a young team with a few experienced boys in it, and we will kick on. We just need to come together now and not let it get us down. We've got a big few weeks with the captain's supper and a trip to Benidorm coming up, so this is a time to reset, and then we'll go again in a month or two time.
And you had a fantastic home support here at Pennypit.
Yeah, the massive credit to the social media, getting everybody out here. And people coming, and not a nice day as well. It was meant to rain as well, so I'm really thankful for these people coming out. I appreciate what they've done and what they've done for us over the years. These are great guys, community people, and we are a community club. And yeah, I respect them massively for coming out today, and I'll thank them in the club when I see them.
Today the message was stick together all day long. Stick together. We play as a team, as a family, and no one panicked. We knew we had the fitness, we knew we had the skills to come here and beat them. We just stuck together all day, as Youngie asked us to do, as a family, and we came away with a win.
You know, and one of the things about Berwick is that you are very much a community club and part of the town, aren't you?
We are. We're all, we all grew up together, especially the boys that came up in my age group. There's about 10 of us playing that team now. If we were to go down, there would definitely be teams coming in and taking players, and it just hurts a club like us. We need to keep together, and next season we're pushing for that league. We want to go up again. We want to challenge ourselves, and if we would have gone down, it would have been heartbreaking for the boys.
You said it was a very quiet bus journey up the way. I suspect it won't be so quiet the way back.
No, I think what it means to everybody, you can see how many people still on the pitch with their loved ones and family, and there was a good contingent of Berwick came up today, so the bus journey will be rather eventful. Let's see on the bus back. It's only an hour though. That's the sad part of it.
And a few pints at Scremerston tonight.
I think so. There'll be one or two light refreshments.